My love of plants was kindled actually during my strange period between art school and landscape architecture, my black hole period. And I say this because this wonderful person, Jeff Peabody, I said, I would like to learn, plants other than the flowers that we have here. And he said, I'm going to teach you one every day, And he goes, and we're going to start with Metasequoia glyptosturboides. I said, okay, here we go. So anyway, that was learning, looking at the medium of plants, right? I mean, oh my God, they're, yum, was just such, come on, it's just such a joy. And when I went to Minnesota to teach, they asked me to teach, I called it planted form because I said planting design sounds like something your great aunt does. So anyway, just a little, but anyway, I actually should say, my big experience was being a teaching assistant for Michael for the plant classes, so the whole series, which of course was phenomenal. And then when I went to Minnesota, I had this amazing opportunity to teach with a ecologist, landscape ecologist, Dr. Sue, call her. And I formulated the class, and it had the art and the science combined. It had an amazing vocabulary. A lot of the vocabulary I, brought was from Michael and Matthew Urbanski, which I would kind of teach those terms, and everybody goes, I can't find that when I Google it. I'm like, no, you're not, like hip hop bros. They're like, what are hip hop bros? And I'd always say, don't say that to a client, they won't understand unless you, actually draw it in front of them. But, so I had that art and science combo at Minnesota, and then when I came to UVA, there was that, support again of teaching planted form, of experimenting with it year in and year out. And I had, the legacy of Warren Bird, in front of me, teaching it. And it simply was joyful. The students, we found, loved planted form, and not because of me, but loved it too much, almost like all the other instructors would say, stop it, you're taking away from studio time. I'm like, that's not my problem. I can't help it if they love plants, But it was also a course where I think they felt, unlike studio, sometimes with conceptual going on, that they really had a very kind of tactile, right, material, and that at a scale I always worked at, eighth, if not bigger, and 20 scale, to have that very concrete and without a lot of complexity, to make propositions. So, yeah, and Durr is right there, down there, and I tell people sometimes that I sleep with Durr almost every night, and Julian Waxworthy's book, Overgrown, is just, sent me over the moon, and so the planted form is actually going a very different place now, very different. Especially after working in, or still working in Detroit and all the fallow land. I'm kind of determined to make sense, of that fallow land without, gussying it up. And I think there's something to be unlocked there. And I think it's going to take a very different attitude about plants. to go there.